Welcome to Prepping Survival, where we focus on practical knowledge and skills to help you prepare for real-world emergencies. Today, we're addressing a serious threat that could instantly disrupt our modern way of life: the electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. EMPs can result from a high-altitude nuclear detonation or a massive solar event, such as a coronal mass ejection. The consequences of either could be severe. This includes widespread power grid failure, loss of communications, and the disabling of most unshielded electronics. In this guide, we'll cover the science behind EMPs, their potential impact on society, and most importantly, practical strategies to help you protect yourself, your family, and your preparations. This information is essential for anyone serious about preparedness. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is an EMP? Essentially, it's a burst of electromagnetic energy. In the case of a nuclear EMP, it's generated by a nuclear weapon detonated high in the atmosphere. This creates three distinct pulses: media group, graphic diagram showing 3 EMP pulses, split-screen graphic of pulse phases, animated timeline of EMP effects at its stock and at distribute equally, E1 pulse. This is the fastest and most intense pulse, capable of frying unprotected electronics over a vast area. It's the primary concern for most modern technology. E2 pulse. Similar to lightning strikes, this pulse can damage long electrical lines and surge protection devices that have already been weakened by the E1 pulse. E3 pulse. This slower, longer duration pulse resembles a geomagnetic storm and can cause damage to high-voltage transformers and other large-scale electrical infrastructure. A coronal mass ejection, or CME, from the sun also generates an EMP, primarily similar in effect to the E3 pulse, but with potentially even wider geographic impact. While it might not have the immediate frying power of the E1 pulse from a nuclear weapon, a Carrington-level event could still cause catastrophic damage to our power grids worldwide. Imagine a world without power. No lights, no internet, no cell phones. Most vehicles stop working. Food spoils, water pumps fail, hospitals are overwhelmed. This is the potential reality following a significant EMP event. Our reliance on electronics makes us incredibly vulnerable. Think about it. Our banking systems, our supply chains, our emergency services, all heavily dependent on technology that could be rendered useless in an instant. That's why EMP preparedness isn't just about having food and water stored, it's about understanding how to survive in a world where the technological infrastructure we take for granted is gone. So, what can you do to prepare for an EMP? Here are some critical EMP survival tips. First, Faraday cage protection. This is your first line of defense for electronics you want to preserve. A Faraday cage is an enclosure made of conductive material that blocks electromagnetic fields. For a DIY Faraday cage, you can create simple Faraday bags using multiple layers of heavy-duty aluminum foil or specialized EMP shielding bags. Store critical electronics like radios, solar chargers, and essential medical devices inside. For larger items, consider constructing a Faraday cage using a metal trash can with a tight-fitting lid, lined with cardboard for insulation, and making sure there's no direct contact between the electronics and the metal. Remember to properly ground your Faraday cage if possible. And key electronics to shield? Think about two-way radios, both handheld and base station, ham radio equipment, night vision devices, essential medical equipment with electronic components, like insulin pumps, if that's applicable, with backups, and crucial data storage devices. The grid will likely be down for an extended period, so you'll need off-grid power solutions. First up, solar power. It's a great idea to invest in solar panels and batteries. If you can, consider EMP-hardened solar charge controllers and inverters. And hey, don't forget to store backup charge controllers in Faraday cages, just in case. A gasoline or propane-powered generator can provide temporary power, but remember, fuel storage will be a concern. It's smart to shield your generator's sensitive electronics in a Faraday cage when not in use, or look for models with built-in EMP protection. Also, make sure you have manual starting capabilities. Now, let's talk about hand crank and battery-powered devices. Stock up on hand crank radios, flashlights, and other battery-powered gear. It's a good idea to have a solid supply of non-rechargeable batteries, and maybe consider rechargeable batteries stored in Faraday cages with a protected charging method. Moving on to communication, without electronics, traditional methods will be vital. For For two-way radios, make sure to shield your handheld and base station radios, just like we talked about earlier. Also, take some time to learn basic radio communication protocols. If you're licensed, ham radio gives you long-range communication capabilities, so it's worth understanding EMP-hardened ham radio options. Citizen band radio, or CB, can offer local communication, while FRS or GMRS radios are good for short-range communication within your group. And don't overlook visual signals. Learning basic signaling techniques with mirrors, flags, and fires can be super helpful. In a long-term scenario, having trusted messengers who can physically carry messages will be crucial. All of these steps will help keep you connected when it matters most. So, your existing food and water preps are essential, but you really need to consider the impact of an EMP. Canned and dried goods, these are going to be your staples, no doubt about it. And hey, don't forget to rotate your stock regularly, that's super important. For water storage, make sure you've got ample water stored and know how to purify water without electricity. Think boiling, filtration, or chemical treatment. Now, for long-term survival, you'll probably need to grow your own food, so save those heirloom seeds and learn some basic gardening techniques. If you've got the skills, hunting and foraging can definitely help supplement your supplies. Access to modern medical care will be severely limited, so you want a comprehensive first aid kit. Stock it well and know how to use everything in it. Make sure you have an adequate supply of essential prescription medications, and, honestly, it's a good idea to discuss long-term options with your doctor. Store any sensitive electronic medical devices in Faraday cages just to be safe. Also, learning about basic herbal remedies and traditional medicine can be a real game changer. And don't overlook dental care. Include basic dental care supplies and knowledge in your preparedness plan. In a post-EMP world, law and order could totally break down. That's why community and teamwork matter. Connect with like-minded folks and form a survival group, because strength in numbers is absolutely crucial. Always stay vigilant and aware of your surroundings. Situational awareness can't be overstated. When it comes to self-defense, consider both non-lethal and lethal options, and make sure you get proper training. And of course, secure your home by reinforcing your doors and windows. With electronic banking systems likely offline, financial preparedness is huge. Keep a significant amount of cash on hand in small denominations. It's also smart to stockpile items that will be valuable for trade, like ammunition, fuel, medical supplies, hygiene products, and tools. And don't forget about precious metals. Silver and gold can really hold value in a long-term crisis. But honestly, your skills will be more valuable than any material possession. First aid and CPR are absolutely essential for survival. Knowing some basic mechanics, like how to repair simple machines, could literally be life-saving. Gardening and food preservation are critical for long-term sustenance. If you can hunt, fish, or trap, those are super valuable skills for obtaining food. Learn how to navigate without GPS, using a map and compass. Master different fire-starting methods, and make sure you know multiple ways to purify water so it's safe to drink. EMP survival isn't just a theoretical exercise, it's honestly a realistic threat in our modern world. By taking proactive steps now, by understanding the risks, implementing EMP protection measures, and developing those essential survival skills, you can significantly increase your chances of weathering this potential catastrophe. Remember, preparedness is a journey, not a destination. So, continuously assess your vulnerabilities, refine your plans, and stay informed. What are your thoughts on EMP preparedness? What steps have you taken? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Prepping Survival for more crucial preparedness information, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Stay prepared, stay vigilant, and we'll see you in the next video.